Hey, everybody, this is a podcast for me, as well as for you. But we're going to switch this up and call it a podcast for we, because actually that's what this is. But if you're listening to this, that's what podcast for me. So here we are, a podcast for we, and we're going to discuss some interesting topics that are not controversial at all. So there's a lot of rioting going on, and
it did to me last week too. I was like, what?
I figured the news cycle would switch over. So this is June 3rd, 2020. And we're still having riots over Gregory Floyd's murder,
It's not just that, right? It's not like, hey, everything was perfect up until this point, and then they killed George Floyd, and now
I want to say Gregory.
George, I don't know.
You got my mistake, and then
yeah. Somebody killed George Floyd, and everybody said, hey, that's not fair. Let's riot. No, this has been, boiling up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And something we talked about last week, and you were kind of like, I said it was dumb, right? To riot, not protest. Protest is fine, but the rioting was dumb, and exactly what I said. I said the message was going to get lost.
Yeah,
and exactly what's happened.
It jumped right over his death, and like what it is now is, it's almost like a courtesy, like a hachu, and then they go on to something else. They go, yeah, it was sad what happened with that, but let's talk about these riots, or it's like, yeah, I don't condone what those cops did, but look, let's talk about those riots. Everything is, let's talk about them riots.
Let me give you I know it's analogy, whatever, anecdote, blah blah blah. I think it's kind of like a microcosm of this whole thing that's going on. Driving through this intersection, on one corner, you see a bunch of Black Lives Matters protests, people kneeling and stuff like that. And I would say maybe it was about 12 to 15 people. On the opposite corner, okay, the exact same number of people, but on the back of like big old pickup trucks, because it was a parking lot, with American flags, and then the "Don't Tread Me" flags. The "Don't Tread on Me" flags, the one with the snake, the one that's usually kind of ultra conservative, right?
Yeah.
And I realized it's a counter protest. How can you counter protest the death of George Floyd? Well, it's because they're counter protesting the fact that some of the protesters are rioting. It's the people destroying property and going to those extremes gave them an excuse. Now, it's a manifestation of all the bullshit that's been happening. Yeah, you can't blame people for lashing out. It's part of our human nature to get angry, and if we don't feel like we're being heard, to get louder, and then physical. It's kind of in our DNA. But the problem here is the other side is just picking up on that, and they're just latching onto that. And now any points that you were making before, they're using that to counter. And ignorant people will pick up on the counter and not bother to look back at the argument. And basically, you're just not changing anybody's minds.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's like moving past, well, more to what you're saying. You're pretty much saying that, but it's getting more convoluted, and like ideologies are melding together, and then things are just getting lost in the shuffle, and people are picking sides. Now, if you're Republican or on the right, you're doing this whole thing where you're gonna say, yeah, like hachu. They'd be like, yeah, it sucks what happened, but let's talk about the riots. If you're on the left, it's weird. If you're on the left, though, you're trying to dance around, you're down for the riots. You're trying really hard not to say, yeah, I don't condone violence, but you're like, but what can we do? That they ask these questions, what can we do? And then people are getting ham-fisted into, Black Lives Matter, and then you get the right, all lives matter, we just forgot that this dude died, because there's a system in place that needs to be fixed, and you're not fixing racism. You can loot all day. That ain't gonna be fixed.
Here's something I've kind of been you kind of mentioned this last week, that the racism isn't as clear in the video, right?
What do you mean?
Let's say it could have been anybody, right?
Okay.
I feel like the big problem here was that there wasn't an immediate action taken against the police officers.
Yeah.
It was almost as if the video had to come out and all this other stuff had to happen first before they decided to say, hey, oh, you know what? Yeah, we fucked up. Here we go.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
same shit happened with Ahmaud Arbery. You know, nothing was happening. You know,
Yeah.
it was like one of those things like they were just gonna look away and then hopefully it'll just all blow over and nothing would come of it. Oh shit, there's a video of it. Now we got to do something.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. Okay. Fisher.
I think it was I think the problem is more that they're not held to account. You know, if that dude that evening would have been, you know, charged with something, I think, you know, just like anybody else would have, I think, you know, the racism that was there, that you see it now because of the reaction from the police department.
Of course.
That became really clear.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they had done it right then and there and handled their shit, I don't think it would have gotten this out of control, you know, in terms of, you know, the public backlash. I think there still would have been, you know, calls for change and all that. But damn, the fact that there's this double standard in how, you know, certain people are punished or not punished for treating other certain people a certain way, you know,
Let's make it clear, because
that makes it more systemic.
let's not go too far in the weeds. Really, if this video hadn't come out, like you said earlier, nothing would have happened. Now, if it was not a black guy and it was a white guy and the same thing happened, gets kind of weird. I don't think anything would have happened if the video came out. And if the video didn't come out either, nothing would happen. So in all cases here, there's one reoccurring problem, is that that's obviously wrong. And because they have to be held accountable to admit their mistake, nothing's ever going to get fixed. And I think that with all this rioting and everything that people are doing right now, I think what they need to do is come up with a solution and then push forward, like an easy solution to move forward. Right now, you're just like, let's stop racism. That's not going to do shit. That's like saying, let's end all wars. They should. What created the scenario for them to get fired? They got caught on tape. So, it seems to be, if we catch them on tape, you know, then they'll get in trouble. And then, like, maybe that will just, and I said this before, I think maybe they should have more body cams, more cameras, and that shit should come out that day. And with the knowledge of that, I think what's the difference between him shooting a person right off the street, like, fuck this guy, is because he knows he will get caught. Now, with fast forward to 10 years from now with body cams and getting released every day, you're going to know you're going to get caught that day. So why even put your knee onto the dude's neck? And I think that, like, if nobody comes up with that kind of answer, then everything that could be answered will be lost in the shuffle. Right. Because let's get rid of racism. Let's change people's hearts. That's not going to happen. It's just not. You have 100,000 cops join the, you know, you remember the protests? They go join with the protest. Yeah, you could riot. You could burn a whole city down. Nothing's going to change because we don't know what to change. But if you rally, see, Martin Luther King, he had a thing. You know, let's drink from the same water fountain. Let's move. He moved forward.
Right.
That's what we need to do. We see the problem, knee on neck. How did it get not solved? I'm not gonna say it got solved, but how did it get seen? How did things get fixed? We saw it, you know. And if we have more transparency, done. Why not have a report card of these fucking cops? You know, like, I mean, homeboy got away with a lot. You know, why didn't that statistic was the thing? How did he get to point A to point D? You know, I get the one. Say you work at a pizza place, let's just say, all right, and you fuck up once a week. I mean, after about 4 weeks, they're like, fuck, guy. So, I mean, even in a normal pizza place or a burger place, anywhere on earth, you fuck up like that, you know, the one time they get it, but over and over and over, that's called a pattern, you know, which led to this. And I think that the true answer to all this writing is transparency. More body cams, release it the same day. Have a message. They have to have a message to fix something.
There are a few issues about releasing the body cams in the same day, and I heard somebody kind of counter argue, how fast to release that kind of stuff, and it all has to do with trying to get a fair trial from a jury pool that hasn't been exposed. So, like, let's say you're being accused of a crime, and what you did from an angle of a body cam without any other context makes you look super guilty. And everybody sees that video, and all of a sudden you've been tried as guilty in the media. Now it's really hard to get you a fair trial with a jury of impartial peers that haven't seen that video.
But that's what happened.
That's what happened here, because the video wasn't controlled by, the police department. But then again, then there's the other side of that. They can hide shit by saying that. By saying, well, we want to make sure we find an impartial jury, so we're going to hang on to this video.
I think I would let the powers be. I mean, we've done it without the cameras. Let's do it with the cameras, and let that be an argument. Try to argue against it.
Well, this goes directly to what you're saying right now about the body cams. Okay, I have this question right now. I don't know, right? Maybe we could look it up after we get off. Any of those bystanders, the ones around George Floyd, were any statements taken from them after George Floyd was taken lifeless off the street?
Probably not, because it was an investigation.
If they didn't get their names, if they didn't get their information, if they didn't get any statements from them, they were trying to cover that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's no investigation.
Someone dies on the floor. They would do the same thing in a shooting.
No, I agree. Okay, wait.
But it wasn't a shooting.
He's not dead.
Right, not until he's in the ambulance and somebody does this a couple times and right.
And there could be, adrenaline. You know what? I hear what you're saying on covering up, but regardless, I think they should just release the tape. I think that we should just do it with that. And I get what you're saying. Yeah, it might incriminate a lot of people, but with the all-seeing eye, it will make them be more, hardcore about not doing bad shit,
It's I think that sense of imminent justice that somebody's all watching. There's always evidence.
Yeah, if I'm gonna dust a dude off, I'm gonna put my knee on him. I'm like, they'll review the tape. I'll say my words, and I'm good. And that's because he's done it before, not just the knee, but other things, and he got away with it. So I mean, of course, systemic and everything like that. But I do think that if we took the system away of them able to get away with that, then you would fix the problem. Now, you're not going to fix racism. You're just not, over time and generations, you will. We're not mad at freckled people, over time and generational, we just stop giving a shit, and then look, gays can get married. Blacks can get married. That was a thing. They couldn't do that, now they can. So, I mean, we're going to weed this shit out. But right now, when you people want answers, this is what you do. This is the answer. Cameras, lots of cameras. Seems like cameras is the thing that fixed this. I think let's look at that and say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Cameras. But this is not the subject matter I wanted to get on. I just wanted to get on the train of where we're at, riots. All right. Now, this is the problem right now with this, the riots, him dying, everything, is the convolution of all the stories. Like, what's happening now is the media is beating the drum and incensing a lot of people. And people are taking that and throwing a mishmash of bro science. And I'll give you an example. Or I'll give you several examples, actually. So, let's see here. Let me look at this article real quick. So, did you hear about you know what? I can share screen. Why don't I do that? For visual aid. Share screen. Boom. Share. Do you see it? But I think you see me.
Yeah. Was this the guy with the sword?
Or machete. And they fucked.
Or machete.
Yeah. So let me get back here.
See, one of you guys sent me the headline of that. I actually haven't investigated this more than what I saw in the video. But what I saw in the video was, he didn't have to run after those guys.
No.
He could have retreated,
So
right?
I
Because the way it was presented to me, I thought somebody broke into a business and the guy, because I thought the guy was in his business defending himself
so
and then beat. I was like, oh
two
shit.
so with just this story, there's two things going on right now. You got one story. Guy didn't own the business. This is one story. I'm not saying this is true, or I couldn't even verify it. I couldn't even fucking verify this. I went through many fucking news stories. Couldn't verify it because I think he's dead. I don't have a name of Dallas man as of now. Dallas man, no name.
Wow.
He could be dead. So is it a machete or a sword? In one article, sword. In one article, it's machete. Okay, another thing. So you got your right. They'll say he didn't own that business. It was just, this guy started stabbing people, and then the rioters took over and like they saw this and they were like, hey, you know what? We don't like this. He's stabbing us. So he's the bad guy. He didn't own that business. So that's one train of thought. And I found articles to support that. And then you have another set of articles, business, the one you and I know, the business owner was protecting his place from the looters. So, okay, I don't even know right or left. There's just two stories going on. Crazy man with machete, rioters, the heroes. Guy with sword or machete, he's protecting his business, rioters, bad guys. There's two stories. There's literally two stories.
Right.
And depending on what, and I not trolled, but I went through the social media and everything, you would find videos and it's edited. Okay, so at one video is the video the guy sent you where he's getting fucked up. That's the end of the video. That's the beginning of the video and the end of the video. And then there's another video, and I think you've seen it, and I think you allude to it, is him getting thrown rocks at, and then he goes and chases them. Like he's running away, and then he comes back around. That's the full video. That's as far as. So, hit or miss. I don't know what we're doing here. So, like, this I don't know. I don't know if this is casual, like a thing that's happening on its own, or this is missile guided. In the sense like, let's have this story go and this story go. Are the writers the good guys or are the writers the bad guys?
Well, you pulled up TMZ, and they make their money on trying to get views.
No, that's just the one that had the biggest like thing.
Yeah. But again,
and the thing I'm talking about wasn't on TMZ. I just needed that to springboard to what I wanted.
Okay, but again, you just said it right now too. It had the biggest thing, right? So it's like all the media outlets are trying to put out the most sensational.
Of course, all the headlines, but like it's okay. You have the headlines kind of uniformly saying that, and then you got bro science headlines like more unsavory sources, not like TMZ or New York Post or Washington Post or anything like that. They're like just fan-based sites and other people tweeting, and then tweeting, and then people on the Reddit, they're using videos and headlines to narrate that the rioters are. Wait, no, the guy isn't a business owner. He's crazy and attacking the rioters, placing the rioters as the good guys. And then you got the sensational headline of guy defending, against rioters. So, I mean, I only use that like for the words, just so
I see what you're saying. The different sides have been able to paint it their own way.
Depending on how you clip
to support their narrative.
Yeah. And it's weird. So like, what is it we're seeing? Is this guy even the owner of the business? I have nothing. I have no name, nothing. And I went through different sites. I'm talking like both right and left. Because I have them saved.
Yeah, it's like Total Recall. Two different stories. Both of them could be true, but you never know. I think if you look at each side, I think they were both angry and pissed.
I do think this is an organic thing. Yeah. People are falling into these sides, which is weird. Like, are you pro rioter or are you against rioters? So you have a situation in which this guy could have very well just been an owner of a building, went crazy with a sword, thought he could fucking throw down, or he could have been just walking by and thought, I'm going to add to the mayhem and start cutting these guys down.
He just walks around with a machete all the time?
Yeah. I mean, like, oh, no, he came down there with the machete, and he's going to start some shit, and saying, yeah, this is my business, but really it wasn't. Or, Maybe it was his business, and he's trying to defend it with a machete or sword.
Either way, you know, them throwing stuff at him, they're wrong. Him deciding to come at them with the machete, even though he kind of had the advantage,
Yeah.
well, he was wrong.
Well, he had a machete right there. So like,
Wh-
fuck the guy, and they start throwing rocks at him. You don't know. You don't.
whoever managed to disable him initially, okay, they're fine. But then everybody piling on him and kicking the shit out of him, wrong. You know, once the threat's neutralized, I mean, once there's no more threat,
What's he doing there with the machete?
what's the point?
Nah, you know, once you start bringing a machete to anything, I mean, fuck, dude, you know that's gonna go south.
But you're right. And after that, I get why people kick the shit out of him. Like, I get why 8 people decided to kick the shit out of him. They were angry. They were pissed that this dude
And
would come
afraid.
the city,
Afraid.
right? And I get why maybe he would come at him with a machete because he's upset because, you know, they're threatening either his business or his livelihood or whatever, you know, or they do shit out.
Or he could be crazy.
He could be crazy. He could be, you know, it, something's going on upstairs and you know, he sees himself. I've seen people, they thought they were Spider-Man. I saw one guy, he thought it was Neo from the Matrix.
One guy wore a Batman outfit, one guy wore a Joker outfit.
Yeah, you know, and so there's all these different things. Something else that kind of comes up. Did you see the one with the big old semi-tanker plowing into the people? And then the people, it looked like from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, where the people just started partying.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way the people on the other side knew that that car was coming. Wow, you know, you see people, all the entire thing just opens up, you know, like Moses through the Red Sea, well in advance of the truck getting there. Did you know that that truck had just gotten on the freeway? He didn't know they were up there.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
He had just gotten on the freeway, and it was like, oh shit. And then he was already at speed, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why he slowed down. That's actually why they were able to get him, because he's like slowing down, right, as he's coming up on him. And then they get him and they kick the shit out of him. And it was a total.
You're right. And then that goes to what I was saying with the other one. There was two sets of story. I didn't even know that one until you said that. But the story I got, the headline I read was fucking guy plows into him.
Yeah.
And they fucked him up. Didn't know there was another side of it, but should have expected it. So once again, the media has twisted 2 more stories or one story and turned it into 2. And then people are just, I mean, is it a coincidence that this is happening? Or is this just nature?
It's a business at this point, man. They're seeing how good Fox is. You know, Fox News, they go after the headlines, you know, and that's how they do themselves up.
All of them
are doing. Really have to do it anymore because they have their audience, but
you know what? Fox News does their thing and then CNN does their thing. But with these stories in particular, there are like more of conflating the truth. Like they're just running with the worst kind of thing, even though there's more to it. And then push forward. And I think maybe we've always done that. It just feels worse now and more racially driven, more, I don't know, sensational, but it just sounds like it with, I don't know, it's stoking a flame that shouldn't be stoked, you know. I guess ignorance.
It seems like they're starting to report without verifying their sources, I guess. So Donald Trump goes to across the street, you know, to do that photo op at St. John's Church.
Yeah.
And what a jerk. So he orders the military to move everybody out of the way so he can take a picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're clearing them out. Now, the news was saying that they were using tear gas, right? It turns out it was smoke. There were smoke bombs, you know, to scare people out, and you know, and like, you know, things that go bang and shit like that, and I think pepper spray.
Yeah. Well, wow.
But they were already reporting, you know, that they were tear gassing people when it wasn't the case.
Without checking the facts. But I can make that mistake though. You got pepper spray in the air and you got smoke.
We can make that mistake. We're not a news outlet. People aren't depending on us for facts. You know, before people wouldn't say nothing in the media until they were able to actually vet it and verify it.
2 sources or
multiple sources. You know, they should have said, you know, I'm not sure what it is. You know, it could be tear gas, it could be smoke bombs. You know, but they're definitely using it to clear these crowds out. No, they were reporting it as it was tear gas. So again, I'm not defending dummy deciding to cross the street to take a picture at a church that didn't even want him there. Um, I think that was wrong. But that's definitely an example of what you're talking about, where the media is kind of just what's going to be the spiciest thing here to make him look the worst. And yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed in it.
Here's another one I wanted to get into. It's more of the same. I think we pretty much agree, but let's cover them. I know we're not going to hear the sound on it per se, but I'll try to explain. Wait, do you hear the sound? Because I do.
I do not.
You don't?
No, so go ahead and narrate it.
Give me a second. So this, you got this wheelchair lady, and she's getting fucked up, but they're saying she's got a knife, and yeah, they fucking got her good. Threw shoes at her. They look like they used a fire extinguisher in her face. One lady hit her in the back of the head. Someone's saying she's stabbing people. You can't see any evidence of that, but and then somebody called her Jennifer, so I guess her name is Jennifer. So there is that.
Well,
What'd you think of that?
I see you're searching Arrowverse stuff.
I'm actually trying to figure out how to the share thing because
It's getting you everything, dude.
I know. How
What
do
is
you
that? Animal porn?
you know it?
Yeah, I mean, a lady in a wheelchair with a knife. You know, if you can get over the barrier, you're fine. If you can get away from her, you're fine. That doesn't make it right.
She's in a wheelchair.
Just there. Once you neutralize her, you're backing the hell up. You know, with your fire extinguisher, get the hell out. There's no need to do any of the other extra stuff.
So the full story behind that is, and it was kind of hard to find because I first saw this as a Facebook post saying riots brutalizing lady in wheelchair. And I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty fucked up. Because all I saw, because I didn't see the knife, I just saw the fucking stuff hit her and someone hitting her in the back of the head. And I was like, fuck, that is fucked up. But then when you look into it, she's standing in front of the door. I don't know why, in a wheelchair, and she has a knife. And I guess she apparently stabbed somebody because she's stabbing people as they're coming by. So they're
That's nuts.
yeah, and so like everyone's like, fucking let's get her. And they fucked her up, right? So but before that even started, all I saw was people fucking up a lady in a wheelchair, and that was the fucking line. That's the post. And I'm like, oh shit. But then, not many people are gonna take a deeper look at it. And turns out she was stabbing people and shit. So I actually heard about this too later on before I even did all this research. It was like one guy was like, yeah, man, them fucking rioters, dude. They're just fucking people up in wheelchairs. And then I heard another person say, no, man, I heard she was stabbing somebody. So they're like two conflicting stories, but one person kept running with one side.
Well, they're both true.
They are.
But
where you are in the timeline.
She shouldn't have shown up with a knife. Whoever she was trying to stab, they have the right to defend themselves. But once you're out of the situation, you're out of the situation. She's not going to catch you.
But like, then you get the video of just like the fucking rioters fucking up a wheelchair lady, and then you can then pose this is not what Mr. Floyd wanted, and they're beating up people in wheelchairs. But in reality, it's not that at all. It's some.
So what did the riots do? It drew out all the crazies. It drew out the crazies with the machetes. It drew out the crazy old ladies with the knives. It drew out the people out there in the corner counter protesting. Good message that everybody kind of agrees on.
Well, right? There's no one who's like, this is bad. Everyone's all about not to do this,
Right.
But the riots have just conflated everything. Like now you could see the people on the right and left are cookie cutting what they want to oppose. Or like, see fucking white privilege trying to say, and she in a wheelchair, by the way. I'm just saying, get this. There is another video of her walking. Yeah.
I mean, is she walking briskly, or is she like
walking? She's walking like a person who can walk. Now, I've seen this before. There's some people that are just kind of lazy and they just get the wheelchair.
Well, there's some people that they can't walk for long distances.
Yeah. Her leg hurts or whatever. She doesn't want to try. She has no try in her. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not researching that. I just had a video of her walking, and I was like, fuck, man, what what is all of this? You know, like, I mean, you got some people walking, you got people in wheelchairs, you got people stabbing, people chasing with machetes, and then you got the news outlets are just fucking doo, 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 and they're just like cutting out parts of the sentence. Like, say for instance, I hate when people hate Asians, and then you go, "Oh, he said he hate Asians." Or, I hate when people
Right.
hate Asians, but they just cut out the part of the sentence, and then this is what you're seeing with the video, just to form a narrative. So it's like, I don't know. All right, so with riots, you don't have this. Without without the riots, you know, yeah, we don't have this. But with the riots, what we have crazy news. What is it accomplishing? Anything?
It's not. The discussion's been lost.
It,
Now the discussion is what's the best way to handle riots?
yeah,
Are these curfews, constitutional?
yeah.
Is martial law appropriate? Can the president order the troops in?
We
What's the states' rights versus the president? It's all white people problems now.
yeah.
You know,
About this, we're like, yeah, there is precedence for rights being superseded for the common good. You know, like you can't have 52 states, 51 states, 50 states all fighting and shit. You can't have London fight, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, you can't have people rioting. You know,
right.
so for the greater good, you have to suspend those rights. You know, for the greater good. You know, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cool with the curfews, but again, because I mean, I don't want to see that stuff happening. You can get your message out in the middle of the day. There's no reason to have to put that message out at midnight.
There's no message though. That's the thing.
There's no message there.
No matter what, there's no message. They're just saying stop racism. I'm like, that's not a message. That's like saying stop the clouds, stop bad guys,
Or stop hunger in Africa. It doesn't really solve the problem.
stop
It's
water moving. You know, like
There's
you're
not a solution being presented there.
Yeah, like I think if they just had a solution and screamed that, not like some vagary, like I said, like we should have cameras and shit, or so let's have this, or like say for instance, black people need to drink from water fountains. People need to ride in the front of the bus, like they need to come up with messages, like actual things. I see Obama. I don't even understand politics because Obama, he's talking, he's like, hey, yeah, he's trying to organize people. Now, is he doing this to be virtuous? Like, because he's not running from anything. He can't be, and he's been the president for 8 years. So what can he do? Because he's just repeating the same shit. Is it an ego trip?
I don't think so, dude, because the dude, I think it's virtue. I really do, because he's been doing that for a long time. I mean, they made fun of him for it.
But then he's not even doing anything, though. He's just like, hey, let's stop the violence,
Also,
Uh-oh.
he's not the president.
Oh, I think we're losing you.
Let me see.
Wi-Fi? Phone Wi-Fi?
No.
Oh.
Am I back?
You're you're still jittery.
What the hell?
Let me pause this.
Okay.
All right, so we're back.
We're talking about Obama.
Yeah, no, I get it, because he's not the president, so he has nothing to gain. So, but like he's not really doing anything.
Well, because he doesn't have he doesn't have that kind of power anymore. He can lead people, but at the same time, he's one of those polarizing figures because he's not the president anymore.
Of course.
So if he starts speaking up, the right is going to go ape shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
There can't be two presidents at the same time, and I kind of agree with that. That tack. The one who can be talking right now, fortunately, Joe Biden.
No,
he should be talking. He should be trying to act presidential, because this is almost like
he'll say the same rhetoric. He goes, "Yeah, we should stop racism," and then shut him up before he says anything else. Because
who came out and said something, and I was like, "Yeah, good for him," and then right away I was like, "Wait, but he's not really saying anything." George W. Bush.
Oh yeah, he came out.
Whoever wrote those for him, they did a great job. It sounds beautiful. It sounds eloquent. But at the end of the day, it's not really saying anything that hasn't already been said by everybody else? You know, that the country is virtuous and we got to come together to fix our problems and, you know, take a good look at ourselves. It's not saying, hey, community advisory boards that oversee police actions should actually have more leverage in investigations. It's not saying anything like, hey, we need to increase body cams. There's a reason why every time somebody's recording a police officer, other police officers get in the way. They don't like being recorded.
I agree.
They don't. They just don't.
I agree.
Because they know that that human part of them, that I know it's not fair, but we ask them to disconnect themselves from it. That part that reacts with rage and heat and passion, we're asking them to not use that, you know, but it's always there. There was one, they were taking down this dude, it was a white dude, and they had it, one officer in the riot gear, he had his knee on the guy's neck, like right here.
Hmm.
Again, they're surrounded by rioters. They don't know if they're going to get hit from behind or anything. He might not have been conscious or aware of where his knee was because the dude's just trying to make it through this night. His partner looks down, sees it, grabs his knee, and moves it.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, no, this don't look good, right?
Yeah.
Did he mean to do it? No. Was his fear kicking in? Was his adrenaline kicking in? Most likely, you know? And same thing when those 8 people jumped on that dude with the machete. He was disarmed. He was already on the ground. He wasn't moving anymore. Why keep kicking him?
You know, I was
It's that anger. It's that flash.
I was thinking, man, maybe they. I had another theory. I was driving around, and it's a theory. Other than body cams, here's another. See, I'm coming up with solutions. Call me the solution man. They. Why not have one cop that's trained and knows good and bad, right? And then have him be with like 3 other dudes, and like the 3 other dudes, they're the bouncers. They'll do all the bad shit, and he's just there as the observer. So you never actually have the cop ever actually do anything.
They're all supposed to be doing that, though.
I know, but it's not happening. So there you go. So like have the cop be a non-aggressive person, and he's the one who's going to be like, no, do that. No, don't do that.
Can't do that because they're going to treat him like shit. You know, that person's going to be the tattletailer. That guy's just going to be the one, you know, like, hey, you don't do that. Hey, you don't do that. You're right. They almost need, no, they don't need lawyers out there. That's what you're saying.
A lawyer, but a non-aggressive cop, you know, maybe like a
those rules of what they can and can't do. That's a lawyer, dude.
Well, no, he has to be a cop though. Like,
okay, a lawyer cop that can tell him, hey, wait, you know, you're using that hold the wrong way. You got to make sure you're 3 inches below or blah, 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 blah. They got to, every fucking cop should know the law. Every cop should know what they can and can't do.
That's why they should have cameras. Let's go.
You know, if the person at McDonald's has to know how often they're supposed to be washing their hands, what temperature to cook the fries at, how long to cook the fries at, what changes to make during peak hours, you know, how often to scrub the floor. If they got to know their job and the health codes and all that shit, then the cops should fucking know their shit too.
Mm-hmm. And they have power over you too. They have the power to take away your liberties,
take away your civil rights, man.
You know, so with that being said, they should have more accountability, more cameras.
Great power, great responsibility.
Yeah, well,
you know, they have a responsibility to make sure that they're doing things the right way. And we talked about this last time too. It's mental health, you know, making sure that these cops are having like regular screenings, talking to people and stuff.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great, but nah. I think that you got to put a system in place for the checks and balances. So because no matter what, it's always going to be a human. And humans make errors, but if you have a system in place, then that will like make the incentive of the human to not make that error. I mean, like, I'm seriously, like, what stops a cop from just blasting people away? And getting...
Yeah, Seth Meyers was like, he said, you know what? I'm tired of people saying that it's just a few bad apples and that most cops are okay. He goes, well, if I apple picking and the guy who runs the orchard says, okay, there's a few bad apples and those apples might kill you, I'm not going to that fucking orchard.
That's true. It's true.
You know, and that goes to what you're saying. If the few bad
we lost you again. You're making like a get it on with me face. Okay, what's up?
So, if the goddamn it, it's saying that my connection's unstable again.
Uh-oh, let me pause. Let's just figure this shit out. Okay, we're good. Where are we at?
So yeah, if there are a few bad apples and those apples can kill you, then
Orchard.
you're right. We need to figure out who those apples are,
Mm.
and body cams and stuff. We'll pick up those apples. If this cop had body cams on him for those other 18 instances, some of those might have been legit, and he wouldn't have been there that day last week.
See,
To
I
put
have,
his knee.
I have a thing. Like, the thing is, though, it needs to be released. I'm telling you, because like when you keep it indoors, it just, I don't know. It just creates another level of yeah, let's hide this shit kind of thing.
But there's another problem though. It's actually bigger than just the police even. There's video of this lady, this rich white lady, calling the cops on some black lady that was sitting on a bench.
Yeah, that's recent.
And the lady's pregnant, the white lady's pregnant and this and that. She's calling and she's sitting there, like waiting for the cops to show up. Why wasn't this lady cited?
For calling the 911.
For multiple calls to 911 and for getting officers to actually come on scene.
Yeah.
Why didn't they cite her?
Why didn't they?
Just why?
They just decided,
Or she's pregnant.
Yeah, pregnant.
But you know what? But those types of calls need to be enforced though. That shit needs to be enforced because, I mean,
what does that have to do with?
I haven't heard of any cases of like.
What does that have to do with the camera thing? I don't get it. Well, you went that direction. What was that about?
Because what I'm getting at is that the racism is systemic.
Yeah.
We could fix the body cams thing. The cop thing I think is actually a lot easier to fix. Body cams, mental health.
I don't think you're fixing racism anytime soon. You're just not.
But here's the other problem. Would body cams have picked up the fact that those other cops, were gonna ignore trying to do an investigation into this guy's death until that damn video came?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The body cams are one part of the equation. They need to be released. So people of court of opinion, and yeah, what's gonna happen is a lot of bad shit's gonna happen, but a lot of good shit's gonna happen. Just like the internet. The internet can be used and it's free pretty much, but there's bad shit happening and there's good shit happening.
I'd like to see the body cams of the cops that went and talked to the pregnant white lady.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if they went up to her like, okay, ma'am, we're really sorry, but there's not anything we can do. So this and that, or did they tell her, don't fucking call us again?
It would have been nice.
Waste their goddamn time.
It would have been nice if that data wouldn't have been correlated. Then you would have an actual statistic. So once again, to my point, we should have these released all the time so that then you can draw. You will have nerds out there or some kind of AI algorithm where it's like, look, 82% of the time you do this and 70 and then there it is. But also it'd be like, I can't shoot this kid in the back because my camera's fucking on. 20 minutes from now, it's going to be uploaded. I mean, like, seriously, what's stopping cops right now with what I just said, from just like, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Is because they know they're going to get caught. They know they're going to get caught. The rules are in place. These laws are in place to a system to stop things.
You're going to hear this counter argument, but it's going to be bullshit. People are going to say that the body cams might make them hesitant in defending themselves.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Right?
Then don't be a cop.
I'm not okay with that because really a cop should be able to make the decision right then and there. Hey, he's coming at me with a gun. Bam.
Don't be a cop.
But here's why the counter argument is bullshit though. Because cops should be making the right decisions with or without a body cam. The body cam shouldn't even be in their mind. Why should they even have to think, oh, I'm being watched, I better make the right choice?
We have laws. We could just all agree not to do things, but it's because of the bad eggs. We don't really need stop signs, but we do because people need to be. Or when you go to a red light it's blinking, people instinctively know what to kind of do. Right? They're not assholes. Some are. That's why you have stoplights. That's why you have laws. Same thing with this. That's why you have body cams. They can't pull this shit. It's not an all-seeing eye. It's just you have a power, we have a power. They have a power that should not exist, but it does. This is where we're at. So,
And I think in a lot of cases, it would actually support their cases too, to wear the body cams.
there you go.
I mean, if I were an officer, I'd be like, yeah, bring it on. Fuck yeah. I don't want people calling me racist or saying that I made the wrong decision. They're going to see it on my cam, exactly what happened.
Thing that you keep uploading it to some whatever the fuck server and everyone else can see it, you can draw up the stats from his lifetime career. You have 365 days. Say this guy worked every day, right? You have 365 days. You're calling me racist? Let's go. Let's do it. And then you can see his camera. 365.
You know what? I don't know that the body cam footage should be made public.
Oh, definitely.
But
it's pointless to have.
No, wait. I do think that there should be somebody outside of their jurisdiction empowered to review that evidence in confidence.
Yeah, no, because you have IA right now, but shit's still happening. You need something that works for a grand 350 million people, and having the cameras go to public, and there you go. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have just like how the internet is. You have right now sites devoted to murdering people. But you also have sites devoted to the entire wealth of information that has never existed, the Wikipedia, you know, a collective of that. You have the internet creates a system of information across the world being united. That powerful good. You also have secret dungeons of child slaves on the internet. So it is a power, yes, but is a power that is more good than bad, I would say, right? Because if, say right now, there's no internet, the world would collapse.
Yeah. But my problem with the body cams, the footage being released right away, and everybody being able to see it, everybody's going to be able to watch any move that they make.
That's good. You know? That's good. You should.
It's not good because, like, let's say the cops go into an apartment complex.
So you can come up. Like, stop. You can come up with any scenario to make it wrong, and I could then come up with any scenario to make it right. But can we both agree the internet's good, right? I would rather have it than not, right?
I'd rather have the body cams.
But like, let's just say internet. Say we have the internet. Would you, yes or no, have the internet? But like, say you ended the internet, you would end a lot of bad things. No child porn, no way of communicating through hidden messages to enslave women, you know, like this whole body of a world in the internet devoted to the most evilest of things. And if you didn't have the internet, it'd still kind of be there, but not as prevalent. But you also have all this other stuff. So I'd rather have the internet. I'm just saying. And the whole world, if I took the internet right now away, the world would suffer deeply. But a lot of other people, it's good for them.
And a lot of bad stuff wouldn't be put into the light either.
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
Without the internet, without social media, that video of George Floyd,
I agree. But right,
propagated as quickly.
Without the internet, right now, you can just lynch a person.
Yeah, the internet didn't exist during the Rodney King meetings, but that video was one of those things where it was like,
yeah, if you didn't,
the media gave it to each other, and then they showed it a bunch of times on TV.
That's the one. You don't even know about the other videos.
All the other ones.
Exactly. And I'm just saying, let's keep going backwards. I mean, you could just lynch. I mean, the internet creates a system in which we're casually growing, you know, bad comes with good comes with bad. And I think more information is better than no information.
Yeah, no, my thing about the body cam footage getting released, there's just privacy. There's, you know, I'm thinking in terms of like, let's say the cops go into one of my students' places and, you know, you see how that family lives and it's not, the kid doesn't have any, it's not any fault of their own.
It should only be on when they're having action.
Let me finish. Then somebody else from, you know, that kid's class or something sees the video and decides to, you know, upload that. And all of a sudden everybody's seeing, getting a look inside of this kid's life, finding out that their dad's on drugs or that their mom's a prostitute. Or, there's all these other things. And even personal things. What if, you know, there's something that makes me look like I did something bad, but I really didn't. And it's taken out of context, even by a full video.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Judged ahead of time.
I mean, yes, that would be bad. You know what else would be bad? Putting a knee on someone's throat, you know? I mean, shooting a kid.
Yeah, but see, those are cases where, hey, somebody died in your custody. We need to see all the evidence right now. And that's where It goes to like a confidential panel that, and with the internet, they don't even need to be in that state. If they're in another state, you know, or another jurisdiction within the same state or whatever, they have no personal ties to these officers to give a shit. The problem at that scene was that all those officers, they probably have poker night, they probably have cigar night, they probably, you know, hang out and, you know, be racist together or whatever. And here, they weren't going to investigate each other. And even the people back at headquarters, they're all homies. They're not going to investigate each other. But if we use your body cam idea and something like this happens, or there's a complaint filed about a scene. Hey, what this complaint took place at this site from this time to this time. Okay, that panel in confidence can review it, you know, and since they don't give a shit about these guys and they only care about, you know, making sure that the law is being practiced the way it should be happening, they'll get to blow the whistle on it. That goes to like a grand jury and then a judge decides.
The panels, they already have that. And I agree, you want to expand the panels to other states and some outside source. And I have a theory that if you do that, it'll create another system of like hiding things and more coalitions built within it. See, the difference between keeping it in-house and keeping it out for everybody is that people are fucked up.
So
they spend hours and hours upon all days figuring shit out. And
the panel thing is not working the way it is right now. Art Acevedo,
of course,
he's the chief of police down in Houston. The people want this body cam footage released of something that happened a couple months ago.
I agree.
And they haven't released it yet because he's the one that gets to decide.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that there should be another panel, you know, outside of the force. And this needs to be a national initiative. Some other panel outside of the force. So whatever panels exist now, they're not working because it's still within that police station. It's still them trying to kind of wait it out.
I agree.
Hope everybody forgets.
I have a theory, though. What will happen is more bureaucracy and more hiding. If you have it out in the open, that's it. You're done. You're done. It's done. It's done. When you create bureaucracy to hide more shit, then they'll say, yeah, we'll totally look into that. And then another group will say, yeah, we'll totally look into that. And then
so then how do you protect people's privacy?
You don't. Sucks.
To do that.
You have a force right now. See, what's the problem right now that we can fix? We can't fix racism. We have a system in place where they can eat your civil liberties on the reg. A guy could just do this with a cop. You know, I actually said this last time. I said it should be, if you have an interaction with a cop, you can say yes or no. There. If that's what you want. But regardless, that shit should go to the public. Now, if you want it to be a privacy thing, it should be yes or no. You could be like, no, I don't want it released. But I mean, if you're having an interaction. Now, if the cop's like fucking eating donuts, you know, there's just no body cam to be done. That doesn't make any sense. But if I have, out of 8 hours or 10 hours, 10-hour shift, I interacted with 3 people. 2 out of the 3 people said, yes, I'm releasing 2 of those yeses. And then, you know, make it 10 minutes prior. So you can't just be sitting in your car, let's get this fucking guy.
No, but you said everything.
I agree with everything, but if you really want to argue and go back and forth, yeah. But I say that to compromise, it shouldn't be a panel. I'm telling you, once you make bureaucracy, give the person the power. Give the person the power to say, send it out, regardless.
See, that again, you're limiting it. It's not everything right now. It's up to the people. And in George Floyd's case, I think if they had asked for the body cam footage, they should have got it right then and there.
Yeah, but once again, there's some committee. I'm saying eliminate the committee.
No committee. You know, somebody dies in your custody. They want to see the tape. You fucking give them the tape.
But that's not that.
That's not what's happening right now. That's not the way it works right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, eliminate that. Just eliminate that. You can just have the person say, yes, send it out. The person's dead, obviously send it out. You know, but because he's dead, so. I mean,
the family might not want that out there either, though, depending on what the circumstances of the death are.
Then say the family says, yeah, no, don't release it. We don't want to know. Or release it. We want to know. Either way, just leave it in the power of the people.
That's what I'm saying. This, whatever advisory board or panel, I would just.
Advisory board, none of that. Just let it be the people. Because the more you,
It would consist of the people, some community advisory board or something outside of law enforcement.
if I arrest you, you say yes, I have to release it because you're the one who's good. It's you. So you're doing drugs. I catch you. You go, no. Okay, I won't. I can't because he said no. I don't have his video consent. Whatever the fuck. Say I kill you, and your mom's like, I want to see that. All right. Yes. Done.
Okay.
Done. Like your mom says, he died because I killed him. Well, no. I go, fuck, I guess. I mean, ever died, his mom killed him, but, you know, I can't release it because I don't have the video consent. You have a consent through video, you know, right then and there. And then he releases it right there to the cloud. I can do that by phone. I can record you right now. And then you say, yes, I got it recorded. Whoop.
You better not be doing that shit. You've been using like black bars on my face this whole time, right?
Regardless, I'm just saying that's what they should do. They shouldn't hammer once they start doing these committees and they start throwing these. It gets convoluted and things, and then there's new ways of hiding things. But if I'm yes, no, they're done. That's all you need for a cop to have the power to take away your civil liberties just because he feels like it, and he could then say, you know what, I smelt weed. How the fuck am I seeing weed anywhere? You know, you can't see smell. He could do whatever he wants. He could just literally say that, oh, we didn't find it. We smelt it though. And you put that on the report. He can fucking do whatever he wants. So I say that we need to give power to the people because we've given this unlimited power. If you are able to wield it, because the guy who put his knee on that dude, he could have took him to an alley and fucking put his knee on that dude's neck and killed him off camera. But he's stupid. And the camera caught that. People's phones caught that. So I'm just saying, like, the most bad guys are stupid. Like, there's like this, I don't know, TV thing where people are like, oh, yeah, most bad guys are fucking Hannibal Lecter. No, this guy's a buffoon, you know? And there are a lot of idiots out there with machetes and shit running around.
I don't know that he was a buffoon. I think he was just brash. I think he felt emboldened because I think you said this last time, this probably wasn't the first time he'd done something like this.
Dude, I've been angry.
You know?
I've been fucking angry. I'm not putting my knee on someone's throat.
Yeah,
and I'm not trained.
This is not the first time that this cop had done something like
I know. He's dumb.
So he just felt like emboldened, like I'm gonna fucking do this right here in front of y'all. I don't give a fuck if you're filming me.
Oh, if he's smart, he would have took that dude to an alley and killed him. If he really felt that rage. Like,
I think he felt cloaked by the police department. I don't think he felt that he was gonna get punished.
Oh, there you go. Then have those cameras. There you go. Immediately. He probably said on the camera. There's actually a news story I was going to cover, but I decided not to, where the guy was like, we should kill these rioters. He said that. He fucking said that. They caught it. They caught him saying that. You know why? Because these guys are fucking dumb. You're right. They're emboldened. But they're dumb too. Say I'm a racist, you know, I would take the people in the back. I would hide this murder, you know? Like, I mean, like, why even take the chance? You could end someone's life. I mean, they must be doing a lot, but I mean, you know, fucking be smart about it, you know? But fuck it. If you have cameras everywhere, sucks to be you. Don't be a cop. If you're hesitant on shooting a person, don't be a cop, because you are now given a power that is greater than me and you. You have the ability to say whatever the fuck you want, and it's the written law. And like, yeah, I can prove I didn't get that ticket. I can try to do this and that. Shit's over.
And you shouldn't be making the right choice based on whether or not somebody's watching you or you're being recorded.
I agree, but no.
Police officer, you should be making the right choice all the time. But what's happened is we see that that's obviously not happening.
Exactly.
You know? And
we as human beings aren't ready to give someone power. So what we need to do is rein it in. That's why we have checks and balances. If we could all just agree to be cool with each other, we wouldn't have leaders.
we wouldn't need them.
But think about it. You and me.
We wouldn't need laws.
We wouldn't need laws. Me, you, Adrian, we don't need laws. We would have laws like don't shit in the water. You know? Like I see Adrian, hey, look, man, you can't piss in this water. You need to drink it. And it would be done. It wouldn't be a law. It'd just be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, he'd be like, oh, shit, my bad. Yeah, I'll go downstream.
Boom. See, I mean, like, that's how it is. But we have a big system of people, and we created this force that has power over us, and that's it. That's it. You just got to pretend they're angels, you know? That's stupid. Take the power away. At least give us power, record. And then, I mean, that it looks like it worked for this guy. Only because it wasn't the police that was recorded, it was everyone else. We had the power.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to be a cop, you should, camera, fuck it. And that's just the way it is. You want to be hesitant? Then you will learn. Fuck it, you know? This wouldn't happen. But, like, I digress. We're retreading. I wanted to get to this final story. All right. And then it's, all right. Do you remember the Christian Cooper lady? We talked about, we kind of glossed over
Amy Cooper,
Christian Cooper,
the dog in the park.
But yeah, this dude's, by the way, he's like 6'2", 6'3". He's diesel. Like, he doesn't look like, he looks like Reading Rainbow. But like, if I'm a white girl who's like 5'2", 5'3", weighing maybe 160, 140, I'm not that athletic. I do wear the pants, but I'm not that athletic. And you see this guy is kind of built, I'm just saying.
Okay.
And from his own account of the story. So when we see it, we see the video of him recording, right?
Right.
He recants the story, and this is really what happened. So let me just back it up. So she says, and so the recording is basically, I'm going to call the cops on you. And he's like, go ahead, call the cops. Tell them what you want to tell them. And you're like, this African man, he's trying to hurt me. And, you know, and she's choking her dog and shit. And that's what you record, right? Why is she so frantic? What's happening, right? Well, from his own telling, he goes, before even the shit records, he says, ma'am, okay, so they start talking to each other, right, in the beginning, and he's a bird watcher, and they have a conversation. Like, he just comes up on her. This is her and him.
Right.
And he's like, hey, he's trying to watch birds, and there's a reason you can't have your dog off a leash. They'll eat birds. That's what dogs do, unfortunately. And he goes, why isn't that dog leashed? You know, he just says that, right? And she goes, well, he's been cooped up, and the dog park is closed. And then he then gives the suggestion, we'll take him over there, some far fucking place, like on the other side. It's kind of out of her way. It's like, who the fuck's this asshole, right? So she's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep my dog right here. And then he keeps interacting with her. So he's just guy, 6'2", 6'3", bigger than her. And he comes out of nowhere, and he's still trying to interact with her. Now, try to talk to a girl at a gym. I mean, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. She's at a park with her dog, and this guy's just hassling her. Then he says this to her. And what is it? Dog runs. Okay, so he says to her, look, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want, but you're not going to like it. He says that to her. Once again, let me set the setting. You're in a park. No one around. Black dude comes out of nowhere, giving you kind of like the vibe, and says, if you're going to do, you know, and however he says it, that's still suspect, you know.
Was it recorded, or he's
telling the story? This is from his fucking mouth. Christian Cooper's saying this.
So what did he mean? What did he mean that he was going to do?
I'll get there. Obviously, he meant no ill content by that, because he's like telling the story. But I'm just put it in the frame of her mind. You got your dog, and this fucking guy says that to you.
Yeah. Okay.
No matter how
she's already racist, so she's already scared of black people as it is. So maybe,
but let's just go with it. So you're not gonna like what I'm gonna do. So he reaches into his pocket, and then he starts feeding the dog treats. And so her dog kind of goes towards him, bringing her dog towards him. In his mind, and he explains it, he says, I do this so that I do this, and the dog comes towards me, and then they get the hint, and they'll leash the dog, so the dog doesn't, you know, the dog will then be leashed.
Right.
And he had dog treats. So I guess, and apparently he's used to it, because he has dog treats on him. So, but from her point of view, you got this guy, right?
Poisoning the dog.
You know, I'm gonna do, and then he pulls out treats, and then her dog, which is, you know, women and their dogs, you know, and now she's incensed. She's got this shit going, and now she's in the fever panic. And then let's see what, and he's the one who's telling the story. What's that? Come here, puppy.
I wouldn't call it recanting though.
No, he's telling the story. I said it right. I said it wrong. So he says, come here, puppy. He won't come to you. And now she's like arguing with them. We'll see about that. They're like, okay. So he says that. She says, he goes, come here, puppy. And then she says, he won't come to you. And then she goes, we'll see about that, before adding, I'll pull out dog treats I carry intrinsically, and I didn't even have a chance to toss any treats to the pooch before Karen scrambled to the dog. Don't touch my dog. So basically, that's when he busts out the camera. So he does this with the dog. The dog kind of lurch forward, and then she does, don't touch my dog. Because, like I said, yeah, with your dog, this guy just comes up on you and starts saying this shit, and then starts fucking throwing treats out. And the dog, and then she grabs her dog, and that's why she's holding her dog the way she is, because she. Right. And then she's insane. And how many confrontations do people have? Honestly, confrontations. Like, this is a confrontation. It's a confrontation. I'm pretty confident she doesn't have that all the time, And women are in a different sense than men. Men, they kind of hold their own, especially this guy, kind of hold their own. So when they put themselves in that situation, I would have told, if it was me with my dog and he did, I'm like, fuck you. Like, it would have been a confrontation.
Guy on guy, yeah.
But
there's a disparity in power. I see what you're getting at, but here's the thing. She stayed there.
She shouldn't have done that. But I mean,
She stayed there though.
Huh?
She stayed there.
Well, hey, I'll tell you this. Sometimes people, when afraid, you think you know yourself until you're afraid. That, like I said,
why did she stay there with her dog and bother to make a phone call if she felt so threatened?
I'm telling you, man, I'm thinking she just didn't know what she was doing at the time. Because, like I said, she's in a confrontation with a dude, a negative one. She doesn't know what the fuck to do. She just doesn't. And she almost lost her dog. And
she's probably used to getting her own way.
Probably there's that. Which is true. Most girls do get their own way. Let's just be real. Most girls do.
All right.
This
one's probably used to getting her own way.
If I'm struggling with a heavy object, most times the girl's not going to help me, and most times the guy's not going to help me unless I say something. Most times. But if a girl is struggling with a heavy object, what's going to happen? 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen if a guy's around? They're going to try to help.
But here's the thing, dude. It's like that Bill Burr special. You just read that back to me. It could be read a bunch of different ways.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. You are a son of a bitch, but like, you son
of a bitch.
I hear what you're saying, right? But I place myself within this. Like, I get it. We want to shit on it.
It does give some context. It does sound like, but here's the thing: if she's already racist, if she's already, she's already got that in her to be afraid of the big black guy.
You don't know that. You not knowing she's racist. She could have done a racist thing in a moment.
She doesn't need to be saying that on the phone. And then she told him ahead of time, I'm going to call him and say there's an African American man, like it matters.
I would call that I'm not. Hey, look, what she did was wrong after the fact, right? What I'm saying is, and this is a thing that I think that a lot of people.
It does give it more context, though. It does give more. It wasn't like he was just like strolling through the park.
Bird watching.
Yeah, he kind of. At the same time, I mean, she's not wrong for getting called out about the leash.
You were standing there with your dog, and some guy just comes out, "Oh, you need a dog with a leash." You would have said, "Fuck you." Even if he was right, don't matter. He would have been considered an asshole if she hadn't gone, crazy like that. Say he didn't get the phone out, she wouldn't. It wouldn't have went down that way.
Yeah, if she hadn't gotten irate, if she hadn't brought up that he was African American, if she just called and said, "Hey, you know what? There's this dude and he's bugging me down here. I'm leaving, but he's following me." If that's what would have happened, but that's obviously not what's happening in the video.
I think that she got caught deer in headlights. She got caught up in it and then just kept pushing forward the best she knew how. Some people do some stupid shit, like they're fucking afraid of someone about to attack them and they go and, close their door or some shit like that rather than just run. Machete guy. What the fuck was he thinking when he fought like 20 people? Like, a lot of people think they're hardcore. So I'm going to get in a fight with rioters. I know I could beat this one guy up. I punch that guy and guess what happens? 20 other people get me. A lot of people just don't think. And I'm thinking she ain't a fighter. What the fuck is she going to do?
But she's saying that she's afraid though.
Yeah,
She's terrified.
was afraid. I mean, like, no one will ever know. Not even, I mean, only God would know, you know, what's in her mind. But
I don't know, because her afraid level goes up from when she's talking to him to when she's on the phone. When she's on the phone, she actually gets more hysterical.
because she's talking about it. Have you ever known that though?
He's talking to the I've seen that, but that's not usually in the moment. That's usually afterwards.
No.
When somebody starts to go back into that situation.
But in real time, as she's doing it, she's she's realizing what she's in. You know, the moment that she's in. And then he gets his phone out. She doesn't know what the fuck. I'm telling you. I don't want to argue that, you know, she's a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like,
Human nature and fight or flight.
There's a lot of people. Like, I knew this guy, man, hardcore motherfucker. That guy, right now, well, back before, you know, he was a badass. Period. It was undeniable badass. There was an explosion. Where did the badass go? He just gone. And then you had this other guy. He was kind of like just chill about it, and you wouldn't think of him being the badass, but that guy rose to the occasion. So you'd really just, people don't know themselves. Like, if you were to ask him beforehand, if this explodes, what are you going to do? Oh, I'll fucking do this and this and this. But they don't know until they know. And then when they're in that position, they just get caught up in this momentum of, like, so say you run, say you're going to call, and then she starts talking, and then she starts getting hysterical. And I've seen girls do this. You know, they just get hysterical as they're talking. They're working themselves up. They don't mean to. Yeah. That's who they are.
They do mean to.
Not all of them.
The ones that do that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Ronda Rousey would have beat the fuck out of him right then and there, you know, for being an asshole. You know, don't call me out of my shit. Who the fuck are you? What are you, the park police? You know, I mean, that's what I would have said, or some shit like that. Because I remember, okay, one time, me and my wife were eating at a Costco, and my wife went and fed a bird, and this one lady was all like, "You're not supposed to feed the birds." She was right, but you know what? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You're not charging anything. So my wife was like, "Well, who are you, the bird police? The fuck?" And then she shut up. But, like, I mean, that's just, you know, one interaction. That's how people are. But, like, you don't know until you're in that position. And I think that's what she does. I think from now on, maybe she'll judge accordingly, you know. But I really do think
the hard way, though. She lost her job.
I don't think she should have lost her job. I mean, it was a racist thing that what she did. But, I mean, once again, I think that people just react and not place themselves in their shoes. I don't think what she did was right, but I understand it. You know, same thing with Neon dude's throat. I don't think Neon throat was like the go-to move. I think he was incensed. Some words had to have been said. Oh, dude, I saw the video. So check it out. We're saying it was a bounce check. Word is, it's a counterfeit 20. So yeah. Homeboy supposedly was intoxicated, and he paid with fake money, and then that's when this shit went down. But he's sitting, like, they get him in a car, and they take him out of the car, and he's sitting, and then they decide to put him on the floor and put their knee on it. He wasn't resisting.
Yes.
I don't have I don't know, man. We assume
not good.
He resist because it made sense, right? Like, that's why you went to this level, but he really just went to that level. I don't have anything for you on that. He just gets to that level. He goes from not resisting to fucking him up.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was wondering if you share it on here. I don't want to mess up the story or something, or maybe you don't want to share it. I thought you shared with us one time you were walking through this neighborhood off of Highland, and a car was following you, and you were like...
But yeah, no, I agree. Keep going. You can tell us.
So you took off, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
this fucking cars, it's nighttime, you know, this car's following you, and it's fucking National City, so it's like dangerous place, you know, after dark. So you take off, car starts chasing you, and then I guess, when did you realize that they were police?
No, it was a different dude. It was a white car, and I'm in my security guard outfit, and with my backpack full of comics, and this white car, this guy pointed. I have headphones on at the time. I'm always wearing headphones, and he points at me, and he comes back around. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what this shit's. This is like midnight or something, like late at night too, because I'm a security guard. So I start running towards the mile of cars, and I hide, and then all of a sudden I see cops come out, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm good now. So when I stood up, they were like, get on 4. And they went right into death mode, you know? And they had the gun pulled and everything. It was National City. It was ghetto. That's what they did. And they were, get on 4 right now. And then like, it was, I put that, and another cop came, and then they were literally, as I'm on the floor, and they got me like this. I'm handcuffed. They're already getting after me. And I'm like, hey man, dude, I'm a nerd, dude. I got comic books in my thing. I'm trying to explain to him. I was like, some dude was chasing me. And they're like, I saw him hide a screwdriver over there. That was the story. I don't know how they got to that, but I get it. I perceive it. They saw me ducking behind cars. They're like, this fucking guy. Oh, because of mile cars. I'm probably stealing cars.
Right. Stealing off of the cars.
That's a killable offense. If I'm stealing cars, it's time to kill. Because they have the gun pointed. I mean, I was taught, you know, when you have the gun out, time to shoot. You know, that's the only time you pull the gun out, right? Yeah. But they're already ready. You know, gun. It was a Glock too. You know, I remember vividly. And yeah, they look at the comics. They decide you can't be doing that, and they didn't apologize. They just left it at that. They're like, we can't prove anything. Fuck this kid. He does have comic books. I mean, and there's a security guard outfit. Fuck, I don't know. And they just let me go. But that's the perception was. That's the power. If they had those body cams, I would have said, release that shit. Release that shit. And then like, I'm like, see, now I'm gonna sue.
Yeah, I remember you telling us, you know, it's a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
Because I remember you were working security. I was driving the CRX.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The bad brakes. That was about 20 years ago, and just thinking that sucks, you know, that, but, and you're still looking at this from both sides. Which, I mean, and that's just us. I mean, we're not even that dark. You know what I'm saying? I've been pulled over here in my neighborhood, you know, for just random shit. You know, and it's almost the same thing too, because I got pulled over. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm coming down this one street. To get to my street, I have to make like 3 lefts. So I made the first left, cop follows me. In the second left, cop follows me. I go, fuck, I gotta make this third left. It looks like I'm going in a circle. This guy's gonna pull me over, right? Make the last one, cop pulls me over. And he comes over, he's like, you know, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know, and I'm like, I live right there. He's like, where are you coming from? You know, it's really late. I'm wearing my Captain America sweater with the hoodie that turns into the mask. Yeah. And I have a shield right there. I was getting back from the fucking Captain America premiere with you guys. And he looks and he's like, okay, go ahead. There's another time that I got pulled over for no fucking reason, again, right here in my neighborhood. And it was just like, where are you going? It was like a random stop. And the place where I'm at is mostly white, right? I think the last couple of years it's changed. And so I actually haven't gotten pulled over. Oh, damn, I got pulled over a third time. My plates expired in December, but the sticker said November. And they ran my plates and pulled me over anyways. And they said, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but they're still good till, it was like December 7th, and they still pulled me over. And I go, doesn't it come up on your system? He goes, yeah, but I was just wondering why you had that November sticker on. I'm like, the fuck does that matter? You know, you ran my plates, the registration's good, the insurance is good. Why stop me?
That's they're power tripping, dude. That's what it is.
That's all it is.
And like, these are different cops. Not all bad, but like, you can tell that there is a power there. And like, man, dude, this is the way people are. I remember when I was a kid, man, I got taken by the cops, and they were like, I was like, get my dad, because my friend was near my house or apartment, and I'm gonna get my dad. That was the first thing I said. But they were trying to control the situation in a way where, like, they're like, don't get his dad. You know, they said that. They were trying to make, and I was like a little kid. I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 and shit. And I was just like, get my dad. You know, my dad comes out, right? But like, they were trying to get all this information, like, well, what's your gang name and shit like that, you know? Because back then we were wearing baggy clothes and shit, you know, because it was the 90s, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, but we all look thuggish, kind of, you know? Yeah, it was the trend at the time. And so they just like whatever. But like, I mean, it is, you give those guys power and that's what they do. But and that's the way it's gonna be. I mean, yes, you're right. Some are good. You know what? But like, hey man, most people are pretty tight about like street signals and shit. We still need them. You know, so let's have the cameras fucking do that. And when they fucking start power tripping, you can power trip too. Like release that. You can be in the wrong too. You be a dumb fuck. Be like, fucking release that shit. And then it's like proof that you're an idiot, you know? So like, I mean, it goes both ways as long as you have the power.
I would look at mental health aspects too. You know, not so much sensitivity training, but just making sure that they're not losing it out there.
Dude, there is no fucking dude, a crazy person could pretend. You know? I'm pretty sure Neon Neck guy justified in his own mind. He's like, yeah, this is fucking true.
But that would strengthen whatever case you bring against them.
No,
Because if they just got reviewed the week before and nothing came up and they were given a clean bill of mental health, then guess what? They can't say, oh, I was like stressed out or whatever. You know, I've been under a lot of stress. Why didn't you fucking tell us before in the review that you were feeling stressed or that you were feeling, you know, you're working too many hours or anything? No. You gave us all the right answers. You screwed yourself. You did that shit on purpose. You're fine.
Yeah, see, like the PRT and things like that. Like when you have these tests, people could study for the test, and you're right. When they fail, I mean, then you can say, "Oh, you fucked up." No, dude, because like I'm telling you, like we have laws. The reason I can't just go and kill somebody, we have laws, and I'm gonna get caught. Yeah. You got the camera. I'm telling you, it's one more thing. They're definitive.
You're right. Mental stress and stuff. It shouldn't be a defense because again,
even
power, responsibility. Blah, blah.
Give them though, fucking wuxia science and help them, massage them, jack them off. They're still gonna do that shit. They still will. It's a power trip, dude. Get power. They got a power trip.
I still think it would help catch some that might be making wrong decisions, though.
I agree, but not as much as my idea. That's a wide net. We're put them together. Sex. No, I agree with that too. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like cameras. If you want to stop the riots, you know, go with this decision. Get that.
Well, because I mean, the thing about the mental health screenings and stuff like that, you know, the regular visits, it's to make sure that we're taking care of the dudes that are supposed to be taking care of us.
Yeah.
You know, and not just throwing them out there and expecting them to act like robots, because that's hard. You know, well, it's hard to act dispassionately when you see bad shit happening.
That's an impossible job, and what you're saying doesn't work in the sense that, I mean, like, it'd be nice if we just gave him therapy or whatever the fuck, but it's an impossible job.
Oh yeah, no, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. You're always gonna have some guy that's fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a waste of money.
Didn't know he had it in him.
More money for cameras just to catch this shit, just get the bad eggs out, you know, as soon as possible. Catch the bad eggs. That should be priority one. Doing these psych evals and things like that. Look, I can see a psych eval if he's wanting to get you to be crazy. He can say the words and say this guy's crazy. You know, if you want, you giving power to some other guy. I mean, some guys seem crazy, but they got their shit together. So I mean, it's once again the cameras. They catch that shit.
Well, the cameras aren't going to stop shit either, though. If somebody wants to kill somebody, they're going to kill somebody.
Agreed. And that's why we still have laws and people breaking the laws. But now
so
thing to stop it.
Nothing's going to stop it 100%. But
more. It'd be way more. I mean, what's
there's still solutions, though.
Huh?
You know? There's still solutions. There's still things that can be put in place to try and bring this down. We're never going to get down to zero.
No, I think you're selling humanity short. Science will undoubtedly figure this out. And I think with the cameras, that's the step in the right direction. You're right. You know, we might come up with a way of erasing past traumas and things. I think science is the way and cameras is the way, because like
I'd like us to get to Star Trek, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that aside, I'm saying
there's going to be inequalities. And if it's not skin color, it's going to be how much money you make.
That's true. That's true.
Your position in society.
Well, no, I mean, with science, if we could just get to a point where our science, you know, solves a bunch of problems. What's this problem? We're always going to find problems, but hopefully one day, like Star Trek, we get to a point where our problems are our own self, how to improve ourselves, as opposed to, hey, how do I control another person, you know? And like, I think science will figure that out.
I I I I think people have to accept that premise though. People have to accept the premise that they're not perfect and that they have room for growth, that they
Oh,
want to change.
I
They,
agree.
they have to be able to acknowledge their own bias. They have to be able to acknowledge, that they don't know everything and that there's always 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to a story. But as long as that willful ignorance exists, or that ignorance exists as a coping mechanism, then
Like I said, like I'm saying, with the, you're not going to get all of it gone. I say the camera's a step in the right direction, you know, and then that's what that's my science motivation right there, because like, you're going to have bad eggs, but they're going to get caught. And then, okay, let me give you this one example here. This is 2020, and then last year was 2019, and there was less deaths and this year than there was last year, and more deaths the year before. So
Right.
there is a trend of this going on. And what's the key difference? The shit keeps coming out on tape, and
Right.
there's more. So there's less altercations of killing black people and other people too, but like, killing people nonetheless is getting less, like far less. So maybe more cameras. I'm saying something is different. Like
Well,
I
Los Angeles has citizen advisory boards that interact regularly with the police, and so they'll receive complaints and then they'll relate it to meetings with the chief of police. So they have sit downs, regular sit downs, where they'll talk about this or that, and then that gets disseminated out, and their officers are reminded on the reg, hey guys, if you're doing this or that, you got to cut that out.
hmm,
And so that might and that's happening in a lot of different places. I mean, I don't have numbers
it's
for that, but
accountability.
if the trends are dropping, it's because they're starting to become more hip to, one, what they're doing, and two, that they're getting caught doing it.
And I agree. I think that's a thing that works as well, because it's kind of the same thing. Instead of eyes of a camera, it's eyes of the people. And then you got people saying things, but it's almost the same thing. But the only difference between the people and the camera, it's a camera. You know, it's not like trying, and like after the fact, now you got the tool, and now it's who's using the tool. You know, who right using the tool, left using the tool, but you have the tool. Right now we don't have the tool. There's no tool. There's nothing there. We need the tool. Hey, you know what? Okay, I want to change subjects altogether. What the fuck were we going to talk about before? Was it Arrowverse? Because we got caught up in another conversation right after.
I didn't finish watching
So
Final or Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I ended up watching Space Force.
Oh, I love Space Force.
Did you finish it?
I'm only like 4 episodes in.
It's good. It's really good.
I like it.
And they're lampooning it a little bit, but damn, they're making a case for it at the same time too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it sounds dumb, it looks dumb, but
Spaceman.
we need to be there. Yes, Spaceman.
No, but like, I liked it. There was an episode I saw where they were at the committee, you know, where they should put the money, and the guy, Stephen Carell's character, the general, he's like really trying hard to prove why this is a thing, you know. And he throws out like these like bullish things to say,
Right.
like, we need to maintain space control and like that. And then the scientist comes out and he takes what the guy says and then says, well, how about we have a satellite that can help millions of people, save billions of dollars for climate change? And they're like, oh, that sounds fucking good, because he's on their side. They're together. Then he brings it in and he goes, but what would happen if a foreign country takes that satellite away? Because although it's all for, I thought that was fucking beautiful. I thought poignant, and getting John Malkovich to fucking go.
Wow. Right.
To fucking say that, I was like, I was fucking moved at the stupid show. Oh, whoa. Have you? Oh, okay. You like Rick and Morty, right?
I haven't watched anything since the train episode.
Regardless, once you're done with Rick and Morty, of all the episodes, and eat away at them. They're pretty tasty, except for like one episode. There is another show they made.
The aliens one.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's really good. It's
the Hulu one, right?
Yeah, it's different. So basically, I heard them talk about it. See, Rick and Morty is caught up in some kind of a narrative, and they have to like play with the narrative, play with the story. They still have these characters, and they wanted to do more just random storytelling, but also um, hitting hard, with some stuff. And yes, they've accomplished it. They can do so many. They have it like, okay,
I
so
think it's just Justin Roiland that's working on it, right? It's only half of the team.
it feels like the writers, the sound, the voices, and everything are there too.
I think we're maybe getting a look at who the real mind is then.
Well, I have to say they have to be collaborating because okay, check it out. Because Dan Harmon is the voice for one of the characters.
Dan Harmon.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's only one of them. It's only one of them. Justin
Roland's doing well. I mean, I thought Dan Harmon does the voice for Rick.
So maybe Dan Harmon's the one running the show. I don't know. It's one of them.
Okay, well, let me just throw this out.
Okay,
normal Rick and Morty has an A plot and a B plot, and that's
right.
it. And then like they kind of string the stories together every now and then. This has an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot, and the C plot's pretty small, but it's in there in all the episodes, and then they devote the main story to the main C plot, so they've threaded it in there, and it is a throwaway. Literally, like these two characters are doing this, these characters are doing that, and they kind of make a C plot with inadvertently. They're like, fuck, that's like trash, and then you see the repercussions of that throughout the episodes, and it is fucking glorious. It is. You'll know what I'm ruining it almost because
I'm gonna check it out. No, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah,
it's so simplistic. You were like, oh, what the fuck?
I saw when I saw the commercial for it, I was upset because right away I thought they're going slow on Rick and Morty because they decided to leave. Who does Rick and Morty?
Justin Roiland and
no. What's the network that carries them? Because it's not.
Those cartoon Adult Swim or Cartoon Network?
Is it Adult Swim?
I think so. Yeah, it's Adult Swim.
Okay, so they're basically they move networks.
Okay.
To Hulu to work on this other show, and are basically leaving Rick and Morty fans hanging to do something else and cash in.
Because they have like 88 episodes approved, so they
got the deal made.
Yeah, but they're gonna make it, and they're making this. Like they're not like because Hulu doesn't have all the Rick and Morty.
Right.
So I
mean,
they
have the seasons that are already finished.
Nah, man. Yeah, I can see the arc for Rick and Morty too. I was like, this is the arc. I've got it, but I'm not gonna spoil it. But season 4 has an arc and it makes sense. And I was like, oh, I got it. This is the theme. But the Solar Opposites, that's the name of the show. It's different, and I'm surprised they have the mind to do this. It's like I really thought they were just trying to cash in on success. This isn't cashing in. This is a labor of love. This is what they were aiming for from the beginning, I feel. It's what Rick and Morty should have been. Because Rick and Morty is kind of goofy, it's going this way different. But then all the fans got in and they started making all these theories. And now they feel that's why you have that episode with the story train. They feel like they're beholden to that, But even if they try to break away from that, they still kind of feel beholden to it. With the Solar Opposites, they're free to create.
Well, I saw an interview with Dan Harmon, and he said he tries not to see what the different theories are, because he doesn't want to get influenced by them, and he's worried about one being true and then not doing it because it ended up being true, but then he's not being true to what his original ideas were.
Yeah, and then he's playing this mind because he's a writer. He's playing this mind. He's playing this mind fuck of like, did the chicken or the egg? Did I come up with that or did they come up with it? And then it just fucks with you. Like Solar Opposites is so new, so they did their own thing, and I bet money they don't want it to be that famous. They want it to be famous enough where they can just make it, right? So they could be free. Because it does feel like it feels like a Rick and Morty untethered, because they could do whatever they want. But they did tether it together with the C plot, so it's kind of crazy. I mean, I really want you to watch it, but Rick and Morty is not. I've been watching it ever since it come back. Man, they are not letting up, man. They are just giving it. They're giving all the goods.
I mean, so far the season 4 stuff has been insane. It's been good. Super good.
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah, especially that dragon one. When they
I knew you were gonna read that one.
It was so good. That shit was good. I was gonna say We got Arrowverse. You're watching that, and will you watch any movies or anything?
I've been so busy lately, man. All
Yeah,
that good news that I told you before we started recording, that's all I've been working on, dude. Just fucking
yeah.
trying to get everything finished.
Well, we're nerds, so like that's our title. So you need to do nerdy things.
Yeah, I need to get back to nerdy stuff.
Sometimes you need to not create. Sometimes you need to have fun to be able to create, and that's what I do. It's like before we even do podcasts, even until we get to the point, I have to be able to do things like play games, watch TV, and just veg out. And then the creativity comes within these podcasts. So I'm kind of on point is only because I'm constantly greasing the wheels with fun things and watch creative things, and that's what you do anyways on your own. This is you just caught up in this whirlwind of awesomeness.
Yeah, I mean, I'll fall asleep to different documentaries and stuff, when I call it a day.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really into watching docs. I've been watching a lot of Corridor Crew, the VFX artists react
You
to good and bad
you,
CGI.
you take the nerd level to a different level.
It
Like,
it's pretty good, and then they get actual artists that work on movies that we love,
uh-huh.
and to talk about the CGI and effects.
Did you?
There's a scene. There's a scene in Endgame. I didn't know about this. When Thanos he gets the Infinity Gauntlet back in Endgame, and he closes his fist. The different layers they actually clip through each other, like in the video games.
Mm.
Like when somebody's shirt goes through their arm or something, the fingers actually go through the palm of his hand, like the wrong way. And then they asked the VFX guy that did that. He goes, "Yeah, we didn't notice that." Oh, there was a cool one too in Jurassic Park. I don't know if you remember when the T-Rex picks up the Velociraptor. I'm talking about the first one. When he picks him up with his mouth and he tosses him,
Yeah.
there's one frame where they forgot to put in the Velociraptor.
Oh,
So if you look at it frame by frame, he's going across like this, and the Velociraptor like disappears and then reappears.
wow. How did they make that mistake? It just happened.
It was CG. So they said that sometimes when they're rendering, it's just a glitch. You
Hmm.
know, the
Have you?
computer somebody punches in the wrong frame rate, and it just leaves
It's
out.
90s tech. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you watch the Epstein one?
I haven't been watching hard stuff, dude. I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to watch
Yeah.
that.
Child rape is not an easy thing. I only watched like the first episode.
And the thing is, I mean, I work with kids and I hear their stories. I'm just like, shit, man.
Yeah, that's another level. Well, I have a kid. I have a girl, so maybe I'm not that close to it. But like it's not where I wanted it to be. I thought the documentary would be more about who his accomplices are and things like that. But it's more about how fucked up he is and how much he raped, and he does a lot. Oh,
Well, I don't know if I'd want to watch it knowing that the dude's already dead and he's not gonna get to rot,
I know.
in
It's
a
a
jail cell.
it's a pointless documentary.
And for somebody like that to go from having all that breadth and power to be confined in a jail cell, you know, it that would have been like super ultimate punishment for him, and get raped by some, big dudes or
But
something.
he wasn't really like he can leave and he can have conjugal visits and things like that.
Uh,
I mean, like
I don't
it,
know.
it was like not even a real prison for him. 'Cause I really do feel like he was getting out. Like he felt he was getting out, but then they decided to suicide him. And I really did want the documentary to go in that direction, but it seemed like we're playing this fucking game where it's like, yeah, this guy, he's the mastermind and all. This is no, he isn't. He's just suddenly rich, you know, and there so happens to be all these other people that go to his island.
There's this cool documentary on Amazon Prime, In Search of the Last Action Hero.
What?
So, man, I wish you were here so we can all kick back and watch it. They basically look at the biggest action heroes from the 80s and the 90s and basically go through our childhoods, talking about all these different action stars and movies,
Oh,
and the genealogy kind of going back to the Cowboys and then kind of going through the 80s and 90s, the peak action hero,
that's
with
like Amazon's answer to what the toys that made us and shit like that.
kind of like that. Yeah. I like the movies that made us. I thought that shit's awesome. No, but this one's cool because they talk about like the rise and fall of the action heroes. I'd never really thought of Arnold kind of taking a fall, but he kind of does.
You're,
You know,
what is it a fall when you stop?
he didn't stop though. Like he,
Governor.
yeah, but they point out that the definition of action hero started to change. Well, we're talking about like action heroes in movies. Who did we look at as action heroes?
Well,
And
yeah,
then it went from big old swollen guys in every movie
Downey Jr.
to more normal looking guys, and they tend to use they use Keanu Reeves as an example. Kind of going through Speed and then Matrix and stuff like that. All of a sudden, it was a shift from martial artists and bodybuilders and trying to make them actors to taking actors and then basically just training them how to do the fights, so that they wouldn't have to improv.
I don't know, man, because you got your 90s, right? See your Speed. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Transition, dude. I never thought of it. Watch this documentary. It was pretty good. I was like, oh
Like
shit,
Gimson
because
and stuff like
after last Action Hero, and I was actually surprised because Shane Black,
that. Yeah.
he did the second script on Last Action Hero, and then they did a third pass on Last Action Hero that took out a lot of the darker elements that he wanted and turned it more into like a cartoon, adding the cartoon elements, adding like the big old like the monster truck elements and stuff like that. It turned it into more like
Last Action Hero, the comedy aspect. But I
yeah.
wonder if you took a dark turn.
He wanted to stick to the cliche action action hero cop cliches. But then when they did like the dog pyramid, he said that wasn't in his version. They added that.
That was
The ice cream cone going into the back of the guy's head.
that was fun.
And so it was like he said, the cartoon stuff that they added in that wasn't in the original script. That's not what we're going for.
What Shane Black has, with the Predator and everything.
And then he also talked about in Lethal Weapon that at the end of Lethal Weapon 2, he had actually written that Riggs' character would die.
Oh, when he got shot?
Yeah, when he gets shot after his fight with the
white guy.
Not the African guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He had actually written that he would end up dying. He agreed that he shouldn't die because then you got two other badass movies that came out afterwards.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man, Lethal Weapon, so good.
3 and 4. I mean, all 4 of those fucking movies are the shit.
All of them.
But yeah, they talk after Last Action Hero. You get Eraser, which I mean, I enjoyed it.
Who did Eraser?
I don't know.
No, I know Arnold, but who did it? Because I remember coming out and I was like, wow, they just keep coming out with movies. I remember and back then they didn't keep coming out with movies. When I saw Eraser, I was just like, oh, and then
and then End of Days.
End of Days, yeah. Darker. It seemed like everything was getting darker.
And that's kind of where everything was going. But you didn't. It was hard to put yourself in his position because you're not a big buff guy.
Yeah.
But when you see normal people going through shit, then it becomes like, oh wow, that could be me. Yeah. The exception that some people brought up was Bruce Willis, right? Because he was more normal looking. But then they said that as the movies go, he becomes more and more indestructible. Whether there are 5 movies now, and he's basically just,
well, they're just phoning it in. Every time they come out to Die Hard, it was like, after the 4th one, it was done.
Yeah, he's invincible now. I like the 3rd one a lot. So.
The 3rd one I like a lot because it felt more. I don't know, it was good. Yeah. It was a different direction with the character you liked. It was like a sequel to the movies because Die Hard 1 and 2 are virtually the same. But then you get the 3rd one. It's more of a sequel to the Die Hard movies.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one is like you're just doing something else. You're just it's a sequel in a way because it is a man at a time kind of story. So it is a different story.
Yes, but I didn't feel like I was watching his character from the Die Hard movies in the 4th one. It felt like a different character. Like they could have called it something else and it wouldn't have been a Die Hard movie.
You know what? You're right. Because if it wasn't Die Hard, if it was a different guy like Bob, it would have worked the same.
Yeah.
It would have been a different movie. It would. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You just fucking did it.
The last couple of them would have been that way.
Oh, they're done. They're fucking done. They were like.
They could have called. I haven't seen Death Wish, but I imagine if they had called it Die Hard 6,
it would have worked. Like when did McClane become a doctor? because he's a doctor.
It's been 3 years. What are you saying? He can't become a doctor or what?
Dude, Bruce Willis really does feel like he's just phoning it in. I like Split though. That was pretty good. And
I haven't. Dude, I haven't seen. I haven't seen Split, and I haven't seen Glass.
Split's really good.
Fuck, I have to watch it.
And Glass is okay, but Split's
But
really good.
But I feel like I need to watch it just to kind of cap it off. But here's the reason why I haven't watched Split. I haven't seen Unbreakable since it came out. I don't remember shit. If I watch Unbreakable right now, it'd be like the first time I ever fucking watched it.
It doesn't hold.
No.
But no. Okay, when it's been a long time since I tried to watch Unbreakable again before I watched Split. Couldn't do it. It was too boring. But as I was watching Split, well, no, Split's its own thing.
Yeah. It only ties together at the end.
Yeah. Then when I
already ruined it for me.
Exactly. And then when Glass comes out, I kind of get the bits that I need from the movie. Like, oh, I remember. Oh, I got it. Okay. Unbreakable is more of a caricature.
I don't remember shit.
Fuck, it's super. I don't know, man. Maybe you do, and you just don't know. Like, as in, because I really didn't think I remembered until I was watching it, and then I was like, oh shit.
I haven't seen it since it came out, I remember falling asleep to it, and I think that's why I never watched it again. There's this thing that I have. If I ever fall asleep watching a movie, I will never feel like the urge to watch it again. If it happens on the first time. So like the second Harry Potter movie, I fell asleep halfway through it because I went and watched like the midnight viewing with my sister. I never got the urge to watch it. It's still one of the movies I'll fucking skip it.
When it comes to movies of like the 90s and early 2000s, and like I gave it a pass just because I'm like fuck this movie. I always give them a second go around. Like I'll check it out, and I find myself like watching movies I didn't think I'd watch. That were pretty good, like the Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like I thought that was a stupid movie. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh wow,
awesome, dude.
It was like
that movie's so good.
I own it, so yeah, that
was so good. I wanted to do a 4K release of that.
I thought they did.
I've only seen the Blu-ray out.
It's on Disney. It's on Disney.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
But you know what? Dude, fucking Disney Plus, man. Fuck those guys. Because when it first came out, it was legit 4K HDR Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, but you don't get unless you have the.
Yeah, but now you don't even get HDR anymore.
What do you mean? I get
HDR. My TV was showing it. Now they'll do 4K or HDR, or some of the sound. But when I first put it on my TV, I was getting everything.
I think those are digital rights.
I think they patched it out so that they could sell the movies. Because like Star Wars, I remember I watched the original trilogy when Disney Plus first came out. I was like, my eyeballs have never seen it like this.
And
then it went away. And then they announced that the 4K trilogy was coming out. The 4K, actually, the 9 movie collection was coming out.
I don't know, man. I hear what you're saying, but it could be a digital rights issue because, like, sometimes, like I'll see it on Amazon. They'll have a 4K Ultra, and then it won't be on Disney Plus. I'm like, what? Doesn't make sense. And I think they just sell the rights a certain way.
No. It was stuff that was on there at full,
Wow, that was quite the
Looks sick, dude.
Oh.
I've been trying to watch it.
I really do think it's a digital rights issue because they'll have like a movie for a time and then it'll go to another platform.
Rights to Mandalorian, which was made for Disney Plus.
Wait, Mandalorian,
dude.
Are you sure? No.
I'm fucking anal about this shit, dude. I remember when I first watched Mandalorian, it was like, God damn, this is fucking beautiful. And then ever since they repatched, I don't know what the fuck they did. There was an update that came out, and you can check the threads too. It went away. Maybe it went away for Sony TVs. Maybe it went away for my Sony TV. Maybe it went away for my $3,000 Sony TV.
Well, because that could be an app issue, you're thinking? Because that's how I watch everything is through the app. I don't get the sound, though.
Well, it could be an app issue. I remember it looked worse on my PlayStation than it did straight off of the app in the TV. But then again, the PlayStation is not meant for playing video content, right?
No, it's only for like sound.
It's mainly for games, but
mostly sound.
I'm pretty anal about my shit, as we all are.
They know about our shit.
Yeah,
I'm literally looking at it right now. That's why I was going to Mandalorian right now. What? It's 4K HDR.
it'll spit that out. It'll tell you that that's the signal that it's getting, but it's not it.
Interesting that you said that. I'm gonna check it right now.
Yeah, because you can hit the info button and it'll say it.
I am doing it right now. Well, no, if it's not getting the feed, it won't tell me.
Actually, I don't even know if HDR pops up on it anymore.
Not
What
on.
does look good all the time is Netflix.
You know what makes me mad, and that's so nefarious, is this Disney Plus app, is because all right, when you go on Netflix and you hit info, it'll tell you. It'll tell you in real time where you're at as it's getting to its level, and then
Right.
you know where you're at.
It'll tell you this many megabytes per second.
And then HDR clicks on, and because you hit info, my Disney app doesn't do that. And they're banking on the fact that you can't tell the difference between HDR and ultra. That's fucked up.
What I think happened was I don't think they have their servers beefed up to handle all that bandwidth.
Really? Yeah, makes sense.
So they gotta kind of trim the edges on everybody. Because I remember seeing Mandalorian and thinking this looks fucking amazing, and now I watch it, I'm like, it's not. They did something. They changed something. They did something. It's not there.
And they won't even let you get the data. Like if you truly are like giving me the like Netflix will do it. They'll tell you. I think it does too.
My TV tells me too when I go into the settings, like if I want to adjust the settings, HDR will take over my settings, right? And it'll come up as HDR. It doesn't come up for the Mandalorian anymore.
Mine does passively. Like it'll do it. Like, and if I go in the settings, I'll see the thing click over. But
yes.
It won't. The only time it does is in game mode. That's the only time it'll tell me that. But when it goes HDR, it's on or off. Like it's just fluent. I don't know why they do that. I guess it. What really do you really need that aspect? I don't even need it to tell me game mode, honestly.
No, mine doesn't tell me unless I push a button to see.
Oh.
And on mine, I have to like if I like.
You said it clicked over.
Change the settings. It'll come up as HDR, or it'll just say Cinema Pro 2, whatever my base settings are.
Yeah.
But if it's HDR, it takes it over, and it basically pushes HDR settings out. But it hasn't been doing that for Disney Plus, and it did it before.
It's fucked up. I've noticed that like these apps have been doing a lot of less info. Same thing with like sound too. It used to be like it will tell you, like your sound will go, oh, it's Digi Atmos, or won't do it at all. I remember I used to get excited about DTS. It would turn red because I had a new receiver, but my old receiver, it would turn red. And then this newer Sony one that I have, it won't do anything. And then I have to look at the settings, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's DTS. And you can fucking hear the difference and shit. But I mean, like, why not give me that info? I loved seeing that little red light.
Because then you get phone calls as the company about, hey, you know what? I'm not getting DTS. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting that.
Are you sure? Yeah.
And basically, if people don't know, they don't know. But man, when Dolby Atmos comes on,
you know.
You
hear that sound?
Dude, what Top Gun?
Yeah.
4K.
You're lucky. I don't think I have that in Michigan.
They did a Dolby Atmos remix of the sound. And
Top Gun.
Huh?
The original Top Gun.
The original Top Gun.
How do they do that? Do they have the reels or something, or?
They have all the raw stuff, because even the film is a remaster. Have you ever watched a Blu-ray and like sometimes you see like the film pops and shit from like old movies?
Well, okay, I'll tell you a good difference in reels and not reels. Like an up when they up it. I have the Last Unicorn and I have the Predator and everything like that on 4K Blu-ray, and basically it's a superimposed. But Star Trek, when you see Star Trek in Blu-ray or 4K, like there's color, because like if you watch something so long, you could tell the difference. I was like, oh, that's like a velvet. I didn't know that was a velvet. Like I didn't know it was like a cloth that changes kind of color depending on like how because it's velvet, it's how the light hits it. And I was like, oh, because they actually remastered that. They actually used the fucking reels to do that.
It's
So,
an original film.
but you need the original film to do that.
It's a 4K transfer off of 4K intermediary. So basically, what it means is they just went, whoop, you know, and you're getting everything. Dude,
So super.
so good.
How are you seeing that?
But the sound was the thing that hit me just as hard as, if not harder than the beginning little, the beginning music.
Yeah.
Dude, it sounds so.
Wait, how
cool.
did I see this? Like,
it came out last week.
oh, you bought it, the 4K.
Yeah. What was I watching? It's a Quarter Crew. I don't remember. It was some reviewers. They said, you know what? Yeah, you can stream stuff and this and that, but at the end of the day, nothing beats physical media because of the pure bandwidth that you have with physical media that you can't get online yet. You know?
No, I hear what you're saying though. That's like saying, like if I was in Texas or some shit like that, or fucking Valley Center or somewhere where the internet it's not like as pure. But if you're, because it will dip, like if you're watching a 4K on yeah, if you watch Netflix, you'll see it dip. But if you have like powerful internet, it's always good. But as a reviewer, I would say that because not everyone has like fucking internet that's pure, you know, like the 5G, you know.
But I also have top line internet, and I'll see Netflix, Prime, whatever. They all crush black sometimes. Sometimes you'll see some compression going on in the black areas.
I'm telling you right there. Like some people think they have good. So you have two bands in your internet, and you have the receiver, like your computer, your laptop, and there's many components here. Now, if your laptop or if your internet pushes out 5G, and depending on your router, not 5G like phone, but it has 2 gigahertz. It's 2 gigahertz, which is the norm, and 5 gigahertz, which is like, yeah. And 5G, although it's like that, it doesn't go as far. So you have to be like right up on your modem. But some people have good modems where they push 5G hard. So you're getting a constant 100 gigabytes per second, or megabytes per second, I should say. And what I'm saying is the forum. So my cell phone, like say it's the newest one, it's going to receive that 5G pretty good because they can talk to each other pretty good. But then when you go to your 10-year-old laptop, it's not going to receive the 5G as well. So there's a lot of, and that's why as a reviewer, I would never say that because you have to have the modem work, you have to have good internet service, and then you have the receiver of it to be.
That's a lot of variables now.
Exactly. That's why if I was a reviewer and I'm just trying to give you the easy product, of course that would always be. But if you got your shit set up, you know,
come on.
Give me a second though. I want to see something real quick. There's an itch I must scratch. All right.
What is the itch? I bought Days of Thunder 2. That one doesn't. It looks good. It looks better than the Blu-ray, but they left the master HD audio on there from the Blu-ray, so they didn't up the sound quality.
Yeah.
But on Top Gun, you could tell they put a lot of energy into that shit.
It makes sense though, right? Because there's not a Days of Thunder 2 coming out.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. They wanted to put
that's the greatest like scam that people did when Blu-ray came out. They just up-converted shit to Blu-ray.
Yeah, dude, I would watch an old movie and it had like the little film pops, like they dubbed it off of a VHS or something. I'm like, and it looks. Why don't you go to the source? But because that's expensive.
Yeah, but you know what? Like some do come out good. Like I think Aliens in 4K or something like that. It looks goofy though. That's the thing. Like there should be a filter that you should be able to press, like put it back to normal because it does, because you could see strings and shit. Because like once they remaster shit, then you start seeing things. That's why I think Star Trek's so cool. It's because of the way they use their special effects. It was like actual models, you know, and like you're not gonna see the strings because they're black against a black screen, you know. So it's really good, man. Like when they use things like Yoda, you know, you can start seeing the little string.
Well, the cool thing about Top Gun is that it's almost all practical effects. I
Yeah,
mean,
there is
look,
other than when they do this, when they do that with the plane,
oh yeah, they're using composites,
fakest thing ever.
rotoscoping or whatever they call it.
Him playing volleyball, that's real Tom Cruise, high five and Val Kilmer, or whatever fly, or no, Goose. And then like you got your the ships that the actual planes are going, that's
Yeah,
tight. And the what's
Nice.
funny about that is like you're not really seeing anything, honestly. You're just seeing planes fly around and shit. You only know that's the greatness of that fucking movie is you only know what's going on is because they're talking about it. Like, oh shit, he's zeroing in on my fucking six. He's got the targeting thing, and you're like, oh shit, this is serious shit. In reality, all you're seeing is this.
See, and that's you get from like story perspective, they're basically giving you exposition all the fucking time, right?
Yeah.
But it's normal for a fighter pilot to do that.
No, I agree.
They have to. But the other thing is the other genius is the editing, because the editors had to be able to piece together all these different flying scenes
I
and
see the storyboard and the director
yeah.
himself, because that is way more complicated. You couldn't just like, hey, you know what? Let's half-ass this, because he's like, no, I want them to bank like this, and I want fucking Goose to say, holy, look this way, like because I mean, it had to have been Ridley Scott got a hand in there, dude.
Tony Scott.
Tony Scott, right? Oh wait, did he do Days of Thunder?
He did Days of Thunder.
Yeah, huh? They have the same vibe to it, don't they?
Yeah, and oh shit, you know who did the music for Days of Thunder?
Give me a second.
It's our guy.
It is, isn't it? It's
Hans Zimmer.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like, well, who does Top Gun?
That was oh shit.
It's got to be like John Williams or something like that, right?
It was actually the dudes that do the rock music for it. Fuck.
What? Top Gun music.
There is a composer too, but the composer was from the band.
No, there's a main dude.
There is a composer.
He's the one who puts it together.
But a lot of music was written for the movie as well.
Huh?
A lot of the other music was written for the movie as well. So like the background music of them flying and shit, that's from the bands that did the music for the fucking movie. They were trying to get Toto.
Oh, that would have been tight if they got Toto.
They were trying to get Toto, but Toto.
That would have made sense though with the movie. Like what? Like Africa? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who did the music? God damn it! I typed in composer. I went against my nature. Should have put IMDb because they'll usually give me it right there. Hans Zimmer. No, I'm joking. Could have been.
Basil Polidor. Oh god damn it! Seriously, you can't find it?
I have to hit cast. This is a good podcast right here. There's the cast. Oh fuck! I don't know, dude. I don't have.
Done composer.
I did that and it fucked up when I did that.
Oh, Harold Faltermeyer. Yeah. But see, let me see. Danger Zone, Georgia Moroder, Tom Willa, Kenny Loggins. Kenny Loggins. That's what it is.
Well, no, he does a song in there, didn't he?
Danger Zone.
Yeah, but that's not like I know. I get that.
Harold Faltermeyer is the one. I think he did the main titles and Mighty Wings, but he had the band. Like he wrote the music for them, and then the band went and did it.
Dude, he did Beverly Hills Cop. Oh wow. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Like, yeah, but that makes a lot of sense, man. He made the 80s.
Harold Faltermeyer?
Yeah. Yep. Why isn't he a bigger name? He did Magic Mike. Yeah, he was big in the 80s. Let's see some big ones here. Ooh, well, Woman's Revenge. That's porn. He did porn.
Kenny Loggins did Playing with the Boys, the dance mix.
Photon. Beverly Hills Cop 2 he does Running Man. That makes sense.
Oh, Running Man.
Then he does Beverly Hills Cop 3. That's when his career ended. Kidding. He just kept on going from there on. He did a bunch of little.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Oh, he did a gay porn circuit. Wow. Well, that's kind of quick. He does a lot of gay stuff. Wow. So I fell into a hole.
Yeah,
Fuck, dude. Well, I
right.
mean, like,
I would have pulled you out of it.
dude, Top Gun's music's so iconic. And then you got Beverly Hills Cop 2, which is, I think, is more famous than Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Yeah.
I mean, Beverly Hills Cop 1 is good. Nothing beats 2. Nothing.
Yeah, he was awesome. And they talk about the Beverly Hills Cop movies in that documentary I was talking about. And 48 Hours.
Oh, 48 Hours is a good one. I need to watch that again, Not right now in this time of sorrow because it's super racist. But are we judging it by our timeline?
Yeah. Not a lot of it.
All right, man, we're fizzling out. We did 2 hours. We were supposed to do 1 hour.
God damn it.
I mean, this happens, especially when we're talking about riots. And I think the thing that pushed us the second hour is when we started talking about TV and shit, which I think should be the center of our podcast. We really should go into that more. So you need to get some more homework by watching TV and stuff. So
I'm gonna watch the Solar Opposites.
There you go. Just
finish watching Space Force.
I will. I am. My kid likes it. I actually do like it. I think there's an argument to have a Space Force. I mean, before the movie, when he first mentioned it, I was like, that makes sense. You kind of need that,
I like when they're at that table and Steve Carell, he's talking about something and he's trying to identify with the female general.
And she goes, I'll fuck you in the ass.
He says, if you ever
bring up my gender in conversation.
If you ever bring up my gender, I will fuck you to death.
He goes, I will fuck you in the ass.
I will fuck you in the ass.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
And he's like, damn, I'm just trying to be cool here. It's like he doesn't know what to say.
When I watched that first episode, I noticed that he has a secretary that's a general.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And
I like that character so much.
I was like, wait.
So funny.
General as a fucking secretary? That doesn't make any sense. And then, okay, fast forward to like episode 4 or 5. He goes, hey, can we do this or that? And then he looks at him and he goes, when you're gone, I'm technically in charge, right? And then he goes, dude, you're a general. You fucking just know it. I'm like, yeah, he is a general. He gets like a car, a house, money. I mean, like if you ever looked at the perks of being a general or an admiral, it's fucking up there, dude. And he's like top shit, and he's just like a secretary. It's just a glorified.
Yeah, that's funny,
dude. I can't ever seeing that, but whatever. That was cool. I really liked that show a lot.
It's a good show.
I like the monkey. That was funny. I like the Chinese.
The monkey shit was funny, dude. I like at the end, he's all, that monkey better know to keep his fucking mouth shut.
Dude, when they were like, he should get a medal and did it, and then they like, let's see the dog, and then it's just a tail.
Just a tail.
Like I was like, oh my god.
Like, no, fuck that monkey.
Why would you have a monkey and a dog? Why would you do that? I mean, it settled that argument. Who would win in a fight in space, a monkey or a husky? I always wondered. And I like how he called people spaceman. He's all like, she goes, I'm an airman second class or whatever the fuck. And then he goes, you mean spaceman? There was another part where the general, when he puts his crotch in his face and then
he talks right to his crotch too. He's like, no, that's not going to happen.
He goes, I want you to kneel. He goes,
I want you to kneel.
He gets up and he gets real low and he goes, I want you to kneel. He's like, what? And he goes, and say that the Air Force is the best or whatever the fuck. I was like, what's happening right now?
Everybody in that fucking room of generals is good though.
That show is good.
Joint Chiefs, yeah.
It was written for me. The show was written for me. Like I've heard a lot of people shit on the show though. Like, oh, it's not necessary. And I think it's because there's too many parallels to Trump, and it almost kind of proves a point.
Trump's a character in there. But you never see him?
You never see him, but you hear of him. Like, he met boobs on the moon, but we're going boots. Uh-oh.
if anything, uh, it might Trump.
You're dead. You've died. Okay.
Only because if it turns it into like a comic thing and they're just kind of like shrugging it off, then it takes the power away from the fact that he's president.
Well, they took something an idiot said and they went with it, and they did right. You know. Do you like Lisa Kudrow's character? She's all like in jail and shit, and she's like, she goes, just like my cellmate Mary says, sometimes you guys gotta put your head back and let things happen. I was like, oh shit, she's fucking.
That's so good. It's so good that you don't know at that time what happened in between.
No, and like I was confused. I was like, did I miss?
It just happens. It's just like, hey, where's mom at? She's in jail. Like he goes, he says, you know what? I'll go talk to mom because she wants to go to some party or something. And then he's like going to the jail.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck happened?
It was such a. Dude, he goes, I have to talk to your mom, and I'm thinking like only a couple of weeks have passed. I didn't even think that a year. So he's sitting there at the jail, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is he talking to at jail? And then you see the mom, and
walks in.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to watch that shit right now. Hey, dude, I gotta get off. I gotta watch the show.
Yeah. Go watch that shit, dude.
I was watching it with my kids. Yeah, I'll watch it again. All right.
Well, an hour anyway, so you finish that shit in like 3 hours.
Yeah. All right, man. As always, if you the podcast, subscribe, like and subscribe, comment. We'll shit on you, all that, and then Facebook podcast for we. All right, mahalo.